Hello everyone. I want to welcome every one of you to today's presentation that I titled Surface Water and the Theory of Sedimentation of Discrete Particles. My name is Omeje Maxwell. I am a water quality and environmental expert from the Department of Physics, Environmental Geophysics option, Covenant University, Ogun State, Nigeria. These are my email addresses. For the past 1 month, we have been looking at design processes for water treatment. We handled groundwater treatment for both water production. We handled surface water treatment, both direct and indirect method. We handled wastewater treatment, and finally household wastewater treatment. Today we are going to look at the meaning of sedimentation in water treatment, examples of sedimentation in horizontal flow settling tank. Then the major thing is the theory of sedimentation of particles in water treatment / purification process. Now, what is sedimentation? It simply means a physical process in which suspended particles like flux, sand, and clay are removed from water through gravity. It occurs naturally in reservoir or in compact settling installations such as settling tanks that flow horizontally, tilted plate settlers, etc. It is frequently used in surface water treatment to avoid rapid clogging of sand filters after coagulation and flux formation. It is applied in groundwater installation for backwashing purposes of water treatment plants. So that is the meaning of sedimentation in water treatment. Now, example of sedimentation in horizontal flow settling tank. We just designed this for illustration. This is where the quantity of water comes in. This is the inlet zone. This inlet zone, the water is distributed uniformly. Then from the inlet zone, these are the pore spaces where the water comes into the sedimentation zone. From this sedimentation zone, this V0 is the overflow velocity. This is the thickness, which is H1. Then for this one, this is the thickness, which is H2. Now, as the water comes into this sedimentation zone, in settling tanks horizontal flow, water is uniformly distributed over the cross-section area. This is the cross-section area is distributed uniformly over the cross-section area within this inlet zone. A stable, non-turbulent flow results in the settling of suspended matter in the settling zone. You can see the way the water flows here within this overflow velocity, a stable, non-turbulence flow. This helps to enhance sedimentation. The sludge accumulates on the bottom or is continuously removed. This is the sludge here. As the water moves undisturbed through this way, this direction, the sludge accumulates on the bottom or continuously removed. This is the sludge here. It accumulates within this path and it can easily be removed through this way. In the outlet zone, the settled sludge must be prevented from being resuspended and washed out with the effluent. So it must be washed out here. At this point, it is not allowed to be resuspended again. If it resuspends again, it will now flow through the normal water that's supposed to flow through this way. So it is prevented heavily not to be able to resuspend again at this point. That's why it flows out with the effluent down through this way. Now, how does sedimentation occur? It occurs due to the difference in density between the suspended particles and water, which is influenced by the following: density and size of suspended particles, water temperature, turbulence, stability of flow, bottom score, and flocculation. Now, theory of sedimentation of discrete particles in water. These type of particles in discrete form do not change their size, shape, or weight during the settling process, and thus do not form aggregates. This particle is a fluid. In a fluid settles under the influence of gravity. The particle will accelerate until the frictional drag force of the fluid equals the value of the gravitational force, after which the vertical settling velocity of the particle will be constant. Now let us look at the action of forces on a settling particles. You can see the upward force in Newton and the downward force in Newton. This upward force and downward force must be balanced for this settling velocity to take place. So if this upward and downward forces are equal and opposite, then the settling velocity will be able to attain and you see particles settling. Now, let us look at the upward directed force on the particle. The upward force is caused by the frictional drag of the fluid. It can be calculated by using equation 1, where the upward force, F up, is equal to the drag coefficient multiplied by the density of water all over 2 multiplied by the settling velocity square multiplied by the projected area of the particle all over 2, where the F up is equal to force directed upward due to friction in Newton. Then the drag coefficient is dimensionless, it doesn't have a unit. Then the density of water is measured in kilogram per meter cube. Then Vs is equal to the settling velocity in meter per second. Then a projected area of the particle is a meter square. Let us look at the downward force acting on the particle. The downward force directed force on the particle. This downward force is caused by the difference in density between the particle and the water. It can be calculated by using equation 2. Then the downward force is equal to the drag force multiplied by the specific density of the particle minus the density of water. Now, where F down is equal to force directed downwards due to gravity, which is in Newton, then CD is equal to drag coefficient, which is unitless or dimensionless, or it doesn't have unit. Then PS, rho S is equal to the specific density of the particle, which is in kilogram per meter cube. Rho W is equal to density of water, which is in kilogram per meter cube, whereas G is gravity constant, which is in meter per second square, where V is the volume of particles, which is in meter cube. Assuming that the particle is in a spherical shape, we are taking into account both forces, and assuming that the particle of interest is spherical, the settling velocity, which is our interest, can be calculated using equation 3. This equation 3, the settling velocity is equal to the square root of, bracket open, 4 all over 3 multiplied by the drag coefficient, then multiplied by the specific density of the particles minus the density of water all over the density of water multiplied by the gravity constant multiplied by the diameter of the spherical particle, where Vs is equal to settling velocity, which is in meter per second. Rho S is the specific density of particles, which is in kilogram per meter cube. Rho W is the density of particles, the density of water, which is in kilogram per meter cube. Cd is equal to the drag coefficient, which is unitless. G is the gravity constant, which is in meter per second square. V is equal to the volume of particles, which is a meter cube. This is the diameter of the spherical particles, which is in meters. The settling velocity is thus depends on the following. 1. Density of both the particle and the fluid. 2. The diameter, which is the size of the particle. 3. The flow pattern around the particle. So we are looking at the theory aspect of the flow pattern around the particles. The flow pattern around the particle is incorporated in the drag coefficient. The value of the drag coefficient is not constant, but depends on the magnitude of the Reynolds number for settling. For spherical particles, the Reynolds number is given by equation 4, this equation here. This Reynolds number is equal to the settling velocity multiplied by the diameter of the pipe all over the kinematic viscosity, where Vs is the settling velocity in meter per second. The V is equal to kinematic viscosity in meter square per second. The diameter of the D pipe is the diameter of the pipe, which is in meters, that the water flows through. Then let us look at the laminar settling in drinking water, which is common. In drinking water treatment practice, laminar settling is common. The Reynolds number for laminar settling of spheres is less than 1, resulting in the following relationship between the Reynolds number and the drag coefficient. If Reynolds number is less than 1, that means the drag coefficient is equal to 24 all over Reynolds number, where R is the Reynolds number, C is the drag coefficient. Now, the relationship between settling velocity and Reynolds number. We are putting equation 5 into equation 3 that gives us this. Equation 5 back into equation 3. We are substituting for this drag coefficient to be able to get the relationship between the settling velocity and the drag coefficient. So when we substitute, we are going to have that the settling velocity is equal to bracket open 1 over 18 multiplied by gravity constant all over kinematic viscosity multiplied by the specific density of the particle minus the density of water all over density of water multiplied by the diameter square. Substitution of this relationship in the equation 6 for the settling velocity gives the Stokes equation. So this is Stokes equation. So this is the theory that governs sedimentation of particles in water, especially in surface water. Thanks for your attention and subscription to our YouTube channel.